Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League's Chaos Cup. It is the final week of regulation play in this first competition of the season, and we've got two great coaches tonight. Tonight, we're going to have Nevva versus the Dead Poets, Chime versus S. Bieber, Orcs versus Orcs versus Undead. Boot Polish, thank you for the bits. Let's take a look at the standings. Nevva up tonight, one of just two coaches that have guaranteed their spot in the top four going into week 6. Of course, Richard Cranium's I Want to Be Like Doug will be advancing to the top 4, and they will be advancing in the top seed. They are 5-0-0. I guess they're not technically guaranteed to advance to the top seed, but it is all but guaranteed that they'll advance to the top seed. 5-0-0 is their record, a Dwarven team. Never gonna up tonight. The other team that has guaranteed their spot in the top 4 for this first competition. Chime having a superlative competition here. Came out guns blazing, beat the number 3 team, Cenozoic Park, in week number 1, 2-1, and has stayed at the top of the standings ever since. An Orc team, 4-0-1 is their record. They are guaranteed to advance to the top 4, but their positioning is not guaranteed. They're up against S. Beavers, the Dead Poets tonight. The Dead Poets have been eliminated from this competition. This will be their last game in the Chaos Cup. We will likely see them come back in the Spike Magazine trophy. But even though they've been eliminated, Nevva positioning, their seeding in the top 4 can be 2nd place, 3rd place, or 4th place. And Chime might be considering avoiding 4th place because then he'd be up against this 5-0-0 Dwarf team. So he wants to get a win tonight, of course. Every game matters. I'm excited to see this happen. First up, the home team is Nevva. They're coming in a TV of 1,265,000 gold, a 16-player roster. One big guy, the troll, Rick Rolla Astley. He has 4 of the blockers, 4 blitzers, 2 linemen, and he has a goblin on this roster as well. You can see he's done a great job of getting block on as many players as he can so far. Just 5 games into this season, and he has 8 players with the block skill. Let you down. The number 3 blocker has also picked up the guard skill. Of course, the troll has Mighty Blow. That will be a big factor in tonight's game. He can also throw up on people. He has Projectile Vomit. And then the Goblin. The Goblin is on this roster for 3 things. For marking players for an assist, for fouling players, and for getting tossed by that troll. I really want to see the 3rd one. He's got 3 rerolls, 3 fans, 1 oppo. He's going to be up against the undead the Dead Poets, but they are undead. The Dead Poets, coached by S. Beaver. They're coming in a TV of 1,260,000 gold. They have 2 mummies, 2 blitzers, 2 ghoul runners, and a whole bunch of linemen. Pretty standard roster here. 5 games in this competition. Still has just the 2 ghoul runners. He can field 4 of them. Those mummies are the star of the show. The mummies and the ghoul runners at this point are the star of the show, but those mummies have Mighty Blow, they have a strength of 5, they both have guard. They're gonna stay together this whole matchup, and that's gonna effectively make them strength 6 pieces with Mighty Blow. They are going to be monsters. They can hold down pitch, they can remove players. They are very important pieces on this roster tonight. The blitzers, they're great with the block skill, but you can see he's put that SPP into those ghoul runners. Very easy to level those ghoul runners up. They tend to be the players that can, you'll score with, and you can see they're both level 3. I like this skill combo. Both ghoul runners, Joplin and Hendrix, they are blodgers. One has sure hands, one has sidestep. Joplin, the sure hands ghoul runner, that's going to be the kickoff return player for sure. Hendrix, with that sidestep player, he can harass people, and he can be, if the ball gets hand off to Hendrix, Hendrix can break away and try to score. Blodge means only a pal knocks you down. Sidestep means it can be really, really difficult to get a chain block to try to knock down a ghoul. You get that first block, 2-die block, you don't get the pal you're looking for, you tend to want to set it up into a chain block to get more dice on that player. Nevva does not have a frenzy player to make that easier, and sidestep is going to make it really difficult to take down Hendrix. What he's going to have to do against that ghoul runner, if that ghoul runner is the ball carrier, is he needs to screen him out. He needs to stop that ghoul runner from getting by him and scoring. he can't totally commit to the dice, because the dice are probably going to fail him. And if he doesn't get the knockdown and really needs it, he's probably overcommitted and he's probably given up a touchdown. Those zombies are great for marking players. The Dead Poets, the big weakness tonight is that they're up against a lot of strength and a lot of block. Typically, I would say Undead is a bashy team, but tonight, I don't think he's the bashier team. And so this is really going to have to change up his tactics in tonight's game and how he plays this team. Those mummies, yes, he wants to group them up. Yes, he wants to take blocks and use Mighty Blow, but they only have an MA of 3. So there's a few ways that Chime can react to this. He can throw one of his linemen to mark these mummies. He can in fact, he can put that player in a position where the mummies, if they want to follow up, it's in the wrong directions. You can see the mummies only have an MA of 3, so they need to take every ounce of movement they can get, or else they risk finding themselves out of the drive. That's one thing that Chime can do. Chime can go all in and try to knock down a mummy. You knock down a mummy, all that mummy can do is stand back up unless they want to rush. MA3 is what it costs to stand up. That's all they have. So all they would do is stand back up. That's another way to deal with a mummy. And then, of course, if he fouls with that goblin, that's another way to take out the mummy as well. They have an AV of 10, you get a few assists, you knock down a mummy. If you can remove them, boy, that's a great advantage. That's a great advantage. The White Blitzers, I don't know if they're going to be the Blitzers tonight. They could be, of course, but the Ghoul Runners have an extra MA, so they're they can go a little bit further. They still have the block skill, so they can go in, they can take the 2-die blitz, and then they can run back to safety. S-Beaver absolutely wants to keep these Ghoul Runners protected because he only has 2 of the 4, and if he loses 1, he's going to be in big trouble. And if he loses 2, he's going to be in a whole heap of trouble tonight. The zombie linemen, that's what they're there for. They're the ones that he wants to mark with. They're the ones that he wants to put in players' ways and try to control the pitch that way, or keep players safe with the screen that way. But otherwise, I don't think he wants to get into the basing game. I don't think he wants to give up too many blocks to Nevva, because otherwise I think he's going to start losing pieces. I think this game tonight's going to come down to the mummies and how well S-Beaver can leverage those mummies and how well he can keep his ghouls safe, where Nevva, he's going to bash, bash, bash. He's going to probably put number 3 in the center position. If he's in the center position with guard and he has 2 blockers beside him, suddenly you have a full line of strength 5 players. Very, very strong, lots of block. He's going to be basing. He's going to be trying to get player advantage tonight. Otherwise, he's playing a standard offensive game tonight. Not a whole lot of throwing, unless we see that goblin thrown. Please, Duffel, let us see a teammate thrown. But without further ado, let's head on over to Cabal TV and get this game underway. Week 6. Final week of regulation play before the semifinals. $5,000 gold and petty cash for the Dead Poets. There's nothing they can do with that. Here's the coin toss. Gonna won the coin toss. We'll see if they choose offense or defense. I don't think it's a critical choice in this matchup, unlike say if you're up against Wood Elves, you would want the Wood Elves to go on offense first. Dead Poets to set up on defense to start this game. They have an anchor defense. Both those mummies on the line. He continues to not group them up. I think that's fine. Oh, he's pulling one off. By splitting them up and having them as outer defensive tackles, he makes the center defensive tackle a strength 5 player. But he's deciding to pull those mummies off the line. He wants to keep them mobile, and he spreads out the defensive line. So 3 mummies, or 3. I really want to call these mummies for some reason. 3 zombies on the line for the Dead Poets. Now he's deciding to maybe go a 5-man line, puts those mummies right back on the line. So effectively, we got strength 5, strength 5, strength 5, strength 4, strength 4. Setting up 2 players in the left wide zone, 2 in the right. Looks like he's going to put these whites in either wide zone, giving up the sideline. probably okay in this matchup, and then the two ghouls naturally in the safety position. And I love those coach reactions. I just like how they're like little camera inlays. I think that's so cool. BB Nut, welcome to the stream. 5-man offensive line for Nevva. 3 rerolls. Well, the undead I keep calling them the undead poets. The dead poets have 4 rerolls. That's a lot of rerolls. Currently, the 2 orc linemen back to receive. Remember, these orcs have animosity towards each other, basically. So Nevva not really looking to pass this ball around if he can at all help it. Big guy on the line, going with a 7-man line here. Going to try to block down the line. Let you down. The blocker with guard in the center position. That means the left guard and the right guard here effectively have a strength of 5. And then the troll in the left tackle position has a strength of 5 as well. Here's the kick to start this game. Remember, the Dead Poets have already been eliminated. This is their last game of the competition. But, good kick. Nevva looking to stay in second place here and have the second seed going into the top 4. Dad Freddy, welcome to the stream. He predicts a mummy injury. I'm here for it. Ball on the 16-yard line on the kickoff. Clear skies for this game. One die block to start things off on the line. Got the pal here. BB Nut says, I hate seeing mummies on the line of scrimmage versus a strength team. Yeah, for a moment there, S. Beaver pulled them back into a linebacker position, said, you know what? Nope, I'm going to go back up on the line, and I'm going to have a 5-player line. 2-die block on the number 1 mummy here. This is a knockdown by Desertia. Remember, that mummy only has a MA of 3, so with that knockdown, that mummy, all they can do is stand back up. This is one way to combat these mummies that we talked about in the pregame. 2-die block on Jones, the center defensive tackle. Double pals, looking for a 9+. Oh man, I need a new office chair. That's what we're gonna do. When this game's over, we're gonna buy a new office chair. Here's a tip. Don't buy. I mean, buy whatever you want. Presumably you're grown and you can make your own decisions. But like gamer chairs and stuff, way too expensive. They're nothing. They're garbage. Don't get them. Just get a regular chair. Save your money. Just get a normal chair. 2-die block gets another pal here. Blocks down the defensive line. Into a 3-die block with Rick Rolla Astley. Gets a push out of this. Block still on the table. Nevva dipping into bonus time. And they take a mark on Alexander, the number 11 zombie. He's the left cornerback. 3+ pickup works out with Make You Cry. The number 7 blitzer in possession of this ball now. Two-die blitz in the left. Wide zone. This will be a push result. Turn 1 back to the Dead Poets. 45 seconds taken off the bonus clock by Nevva. The Dead Poets, their first turn of this game. BB Nut asks, so it's what, 4 weeks until the next season? Let's see. So it'll be this week, the semifinals, the final. Yeah, about 4 weeks. Yeah, it'll be this week, the semifinals, the final. Semifinals and the final might be done in a week. It Depends on when the coaches schedule them, but I would say 4 weeks is reasonable, including that week off to get prepared for the next competition. So it'll be 4 weeks for the next competition this season, in which registration will begin for the Spike Magazine Trophy. Anybody can participate. You do not have to have participated in the Chaos Cup to participate in the Spike Magazine Trophy, and you don't even have to worry about missing the Chaos Cup due to the way the league is structured. You'll have if you play your games and you win your games week after week, you'll have a good shot at the Blood Bowl at the end of the season. Good KO there by the Dead Poets. One-man player advantage now. When I was a kid, this has nothing to do with anything, but when I was a kid, I loved American Gladiators. I have all 7 seasons on my NAS. I love American Gladiators, and I found out this week that in the UK, Gladiators is airing again. So I watched episode 1, and man, I love it. It's so cool. It's a little different because back in the day, at least with American Gladiators, I know Gladiators has been in the UK a number of times, but with the original American Gladiators, they really made it a point to legitimize it. So there wasn't a lot of kayfabe or a lot of like acting yourself, except for season 1, I suppose. But they have that in the UK one, and I don't mind it too much. I think it's kind of cool. I really like it. I know the Gladiators are directed. Their behavior is directed. Obviously, it's a TV show, but I really respect the sportsmanship by. There's a couple of characters that are like the bad guys, but like you just don't see that a lot over here. You know, like competition here is all like, brr, I'm gonna beat you up. Just watching like 2 dudes punch each other in the face and then go like, hey, that was cool. You're good. It's just a lot of fun to watch. Turn 2, back to Nevva Ghana. British polite fights. I mean, the production is like phenomenal. They've done a really good job. It's really odd. They have a lot of like music, like non-bespoke music. I don't know if IP law is different, or like the BBC maybe has some way of just using licensed music without license. I don't know, but they have a ton of licensed music in it. It's really bizarre to me. Good push on the mummy. Continuing to lock down these mummies. Again, we talked about this in the pregame. Nevva Ghana choosing to keep them grounded, and this is how he can keep them out of play. Ball advances to the 2-yard line, right at the line of scrimmage. Nevva Ghana continuing to mark players. He's the bashier of the 2 with all that block and all that strength. He's leveraging that to mark players, block down players, and advance forward. A standard running game. Chime with an excellent competition to start this season. 1-die block on the right side here against Thane, the number 12 lineman. Gets a push. Turn 2, back to the Dead Poets. BB Nuts says, awesome, I've made 2 teams trying to decide which one to entry. I have McLaren Formula WAG. An orc team with all McLaren F1 driver names. Or Red Bulls, well, Beastman and Minotaur Chaos team based on the Red Bull F1. That's awesome. I'm excited to see it, man. I love this game. I love playing with people. I love seeing what they name their team and what colors they choose and how they play. This is just, man, I love Blood Bowl so much. I gush about it every stream, but it's just such a rad game. Mummy blitz on the big guy. It's going to be a push result here. Went after the troll. The difference here, and it's a big difference, that troll has an MA of 1, so even if you knock down the troll, it's really not doing what knocking down the mummy is doing. Knocking down the troll, he could stand back up and blitz without having to rush. The mummies can't do that. I used to play those Codemasters F1 games all the time. I should check to see if they're any good now. I used to race, like legitimately race track racing with a local club. It was a lot of fun. Super expensive. It's a very expensive hobby. don't do it if you don't want to part with money. 5 seconds left on the clock. Dead Poets trying to figure out how to keep this formation intact and stop the run. Chime doing a pretty good job here, keeping the ball secure and trying to whittle away at this defense. You can see he's pushed a little bit over in the left wide zone, trying to pick off Alexander, push him off to the sideline, and basically remove that player from the drive. And he's going to continue to try to do that with all these blocks. Like he says, dealing with all the big guns is very difficult for a team that only has 2 higher strength players, and since they have guard, his keeper probably wants to try to keep them somewhat close together. Indeed, and he just doesn't have a lot of block to compete. 2-die block on the right side. That's a knockdown. Well done. That's another player he's trying to pick off. Chime has been having the competition of his life, or at least of the league. He's been doing really good here. Did something in the offseason. Did a lot of studying, a lot of practice. He's come back and is really just having a great competition and a great season so far. Gets a push on Alexander, and he'll push him toward the sideline. There he goes. Blitzing for the surf. 2-die blitz. He's got it. Well done by Nevva. Good surf there by Nevva to remove a player. Ball's going to shift laterally to the right. Still on the 2-yard line, but now on the right wide zone. Nevva looking to carve out this right wide zone. Fails the really stupid roll with the troll. That troll, really stupid. Most big guys have some sort of negative trait or nega trait. The troll here is really stupid. So before they take an action, they have to roll a d6. If it's a 1, then they stare off into space. They not only lose their action, but perhaps more importantly, they lose all their tackle zones. Stupid can be a big loss for coaches if they're not careful where they position those big guys. Ogres tend to have really stupid as well. What's really nice about the mummies is that they do not have a negative trait. Goes for the blitz on Say Goodbye, gets double pushes out of it, follows up with Lennon. Lennon trying to get on this ball. Lennon might get left behind here on a big run next turn. The Poets rush Morrison, the number 4 blitzer, over in the right wide zone, trying to stop that run to the right. I was out late last night and it started snowing. we were playing a game and I kept checking the weather and like there was nothing. There was like a light dusting of snow and I was like, oh, we're fine. Let's finish our game. We're fine. We're good. And it was like that all the way up to about an hour before we left. And then we go outside and there's like an inch of snow out there. And it was a miserable drive back. It was like a 40-mile drive for me. And my goodness, it was for about half the drive, it was no faster than 20 miles per hour. It was miserable. Breaks armor here. Gets a stun. Good stun by Nevva. Started snowing super hard. I wouldn't call it a whiteout, but like it was visibility got pretty bad for a little while there. Nevva advances the ball forward a couple of spaces, shifts it back over to the left. The ball's on the opposing 4-yard line now. I've never seen it snow so quickly in my life. It was really weird. And when I woke up, there was no snow. I mean, there was snow on the grass, but no snow on pavement or anything. It didn't stick. One die blitz. Gets the knockdown on McKernan. Good knockdown there. Decides to follow up. Still has plenty of movement left with Televi. Takes a mark on Hendricks. That's the downfield Gould runner in the right wide zone. Call him a free safety. We'll call him a strong safety. Seconds left on the clock. 2-die block on Cobain. Gets another pal here. Breaks. Wow! Breaks armor and kills kills Cobain. R.I.P. Kills the blitzer on that block. 2-die block. Got the pal. Broke armor, and it's a death. However, this is an undead team. And there he is, regenerated back in the reserve box. Very good removal by Nevva there. Every player on this undead team has regeneration except for the 2 ghouls. We have a 3+ dodge here. Spent the reroll, failed the dodge again. That's going to be a turnover. Turn 4 now for the Dead Poets. Moob09, welcome to the stream. Sweet Bunny, welcome to the stream as well. Both of you pretty much say the same thing. Mummy Blitz? Maybe so. B.1234, welcome to the stream. Two-die block and gotta make you understand. Gets a knockdown here. There were no results for orcs? What? Oh, orc. There we go. There it is, the Mummy Blitz. Rush Blitz. 2 dice into a push. Is he going to re-roll this? I think he might. Yes, indeed. Got the pal he was looking for. What a blitz! Got a Kaz out of it as well. Is the Apothecary going to be spent here? He is. That's not going to keep him alive. Well, I guess it will. It took a hatchet to the man, but he stays alive. Good reroll there. Ball's going to scatter to the 6-yard line. Great blitz by the Dead Poets. Spent the reroll, got the pal. Got a casualty out of this as well. Very well done. Dead Poets now in bonus time. 6 minutes, 22 seconds left on the clock. Nevva got a little too spread out there. Got a little too aggressive trying to control the pitch. Left themselves open to a blitz with a player with strength 5 and mighty blow. Hendricks took a 1-die on Hercha. Got the knockdown. And Hercha is gonna stand right back up. He says, "Let's go, bro. I wasn't paying attention last time. This time I got my eyes on you." Second quarter begins. Nevva trying to recover this ball. I just noticed there was like a word missing. A word missing in that overlay. It's fine. 1-die block on Lennon. Gets a knockdown. Breaks armor. Got a KO on a mummy. Big KO. Removed one of those 2 mummies. Wow. Able to recover the ball, and now the ball is in the hands of the number 12 lineman on the opposing 12-yard line in the left wide zone. Turn 5 back to the Dead Poets. Excellent removal by Nevva. Moob says, while I like Undead more than Orcs in general, the team and player names of Nevva means I have to cheer for them. Sometimes it's all it takes. 2-die block gets a push here. Harrison gonna push back Desert yet. Declares a blitz with Morrison. Morrison with the tackle skill. Tackle's not gonna come into play tonight unless the Goblin comes out on the pitch. Rush 1-die. Fails the rush. He'll have to spend the reroll and roll into a skull. He's gonna spend another reroll. He is! Gets a push. The Dead Poet's down to 1 reroll. It's gonna have to get another player over there. Pushes the ball carrier to the sideline. 1-tie block by Hendricks is a both standing result unless he spends his final reroll. Seconds on the clock with the Dead Poets. They've done a 1 reroll. Good dodge. There's that second player he needed on the ball carrier, and now we're gonna see a bit of a scrum over in the left wide zone. Decided to mark with Joplin, the number 7 ghoul. He has the dodge skill, so if he failed that 3+, he gets a free reroll. Turn 6 for Nevva. Ball on the 12 on the left sideline. 3 turns left to score. 2 players to contend with here. Might just reposition his players. Take the blocks, not move the ball. 2-die block. And do it both standing unless he spends his final reroll. He's thinking about it. Is it worth it? He spends it. He'll get the knockdown. But now Nevva Gunna with no rerolls left for the half. And now a 2-die on Joplin. Probably will not follow up here. Breaks armor. And now, with those players down, well done. He's cleared a lane for the ball carrier to score. Can't do it this turn. Gets a push over in the right wide zone against Hendricks. But remember, Hendricks has a sidestep skill. Sidestep means instead of getting pushed backwards and the blocking coach getting to decide where that player goes, that player can be pushed into any adjacent space. And it's the sidestep player's coach who gets to decide where he goes. So it's a real pain in the butt, especially when you combine that with Blodge. My goodness, that was a punch. That would knock me out too. Well done. Lots of removals this half by Nevva Gunna. It's what he was inevitably gonna do here. The Dead Poets need to find a way to respond. But now their defense is absolutely scattered about the pitch, making it really ineffective. And Dead Poets are going to have to come up with something in order to stop the score. You know, it's really good. I don't like fast food too much, but I really like. I think the regional. I'm not sure, but Checkers. There's a fast food joint named Checkers. Their fries, their French fries, are phenomenal. They're really good. 2 rushes to move Harrison the Mummy back toward the end zone. You can see Chime there, emoting in the picture-in-picture. Shifts the ghoul runner, number 8, Hendricks, back toward the left sideline. Takes the uphill block. Uphill blitz, I should say, and gets the knockdown. 2-die uphill. Well done. Well done. Morrison, the blitzer, with the 2-die uphill blitz. He's going to knock that ball carrier down. We'll see if this ball even stays on the pitch. And it does indeed. It's going to scatter back to the 8-yard line. Wow. tries to dodge out the white on the 50-50 dodge. Didn't work out. Uphill block. Uphill blitz worked out. But now Morrison is back on the ground. Turn 7 now. Nevva Gunna losing possession of the ball once again. Doug the Minotaur asks, "Oh no, what is up with these uphill successful blocks?" Nuffle has a sense of humor. Bunny says, "This last turn concerns me." Claffy says he can't possibly want to follow up. Nope, he didn't. He tried to dodge away. It didn't work out. Hand off with the lineman, fails the pickup. Oh boy. That blitz was a key blitz for the Dead Poets. Turn 7 for the Dead Poets. 1 turn left for Nevva Gunna to try to get this ball into the end zone. And I have to imagine the Dead Poets are going to line up these players. I don't think he wants to do anything else other than action these 2 players. But where he positions them That's the question. Set him up in a column to stop the sideline score. But he's also got to, yeah, he's also got to be careful about the ball coming this way after a block on Hendricks. Hendricks does have sidestep though, so he could sidestep Hendricks into an advantageous position. Two die. Rush blitz by Harrison is gonna be a pal. He wouldn't push onto the ball, would he? He wouldn't dare. Yeah, he's gonna push him onto the sideline. And he follows up. Good blitz. The Dead Poets, after a lucky uphill blitz, are now gonna force Nevva to roll dice at odds that they don't want them to be at. Final turn of the first quarter coming up. Nevva up first. They were on offense in this half. Can they score? Remember, these orcs have animosity. So the linemen hate each other. The blitzers hate each other, I think. And the blockers hate everyone. I'm going to have that backwards. I think the blitzers hate everyone. Good injury here. And the injury sticks. BB says if he scores from here, I'll give him the money myself. Your check's in the mail. Two-die block on Morrison. Nevva with no rerolls left. Every block is scary. Gets a knockdown. Another removal. And it sticks again. Two great blocks to go into the second half. And two more SPP, this time on Desertia. Dr. Minotaur says, scary for who though? Point taken. 45 seconds left on the clock for Nevva. Boy, oh boy. Looks like he might try to get the ball in the hands of number 4. No, the blockers hate each other, so I think it's the blitzers who hate everyone. Moobo9 says, if you can't score, kill. Words to live by. Gets a push on McKernan. It looks like he's going to try to pass. All right, so he doesn't want to pick the ball up with a blocker. Try to pick it up with the lineman. Two-die block off by the troll over on the right side. What a scary block. He takes all of these blocks. They're so scary to me. Failed the dodge. 3+ dodge. Failed the dodge with the lineman, and that is it. Nevva not going to be able to score in this half. Well done to S. Beaver to stop this score. Boy, I mean, he's got to go. He's got to go after runaround, right? He's got to blitz runaround. Got the assist for the 1 die on runaround, which will likely be enough. Wait, why that way? Took it from the left of the player, so he's not going to be able to surf. Does he want to foul? Came up this direction for the block. That meant the blocker had to end up here. If he came this way, there would be nowhere for the blocker to go, or for the blocked player to go, and therefore it would have been a surf and a guaranteed removal. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? He just bounced the ball off his head. Picks the ball up. Picks the ball up with the mummy. Tried to pass it. All right. There you go. There's a mummy with the ball. Oh boy. Second quarter or second half begins. Nevva is gonna set up on defense now. They had their chance at offense. They weren't I was gonna say not allowed. They weren't able to score. The Dead Poets are gonna be on offense to start the second half here. They're gonna be down three players. Nevva started this game with 12 players on the roster, so they'll have a full 11 to start the second half with. Play says 9v11. Yeah, it'll be 9 players for the Dead Poets, 11 for Nevva. All right, wide defensive line here for Nevva. Trying to screen out this undead team, but left big gaps on the line. It means this line's absolutely going to get blocked down by the Dead Poets. Four-player line for the Dead Poets currently. He's spread this team out. He's got an assist to get a 2-die on the Troll. He's got an assist to get a 2-die on the right defensive tackle. Cobain, the number 5 blitzer, died again and regenerated, so is back on the pitch. Six-man line now. He has two ends on the line. Brilliant coaching. The Dead Poets have that assistant coach, but it didn't work out. It's 5v5. Neither team gets a re-roll on the kickoff event. The ball resting on the left sideline to start this second half. Nevva. They're playing for seeding position now in the semifinals. Dead Poets have already been eliminated. 2-die block by Harrison, the number 1 mummy. The only remaining mummy left on the team here for this game. The other one was knocked out, did not come back onto the pitch. 2 other players injured, one of which was a blitzer. That's a player with the block skill that he's lost as well. He needs every bit of block he can get. Got a both down result there. And got stunned for his trouble. Number 16 stunned. Uh-oh. Got the knockdown on the Troll. The Troll's not going to stand back up. He's really stupid. Moved in the assist there. If he didn't have the assist on the really stupid roll, it would be a 4+ to activate. Otherwise, it's a 2+. He rolled a 1 there. Nevva says, wow, not re-rolling that? Yeah, I'm surprised too. I'm really surprised. Now he's going to get a blitz on Johnson. Gets a push here. Deciding to not cross the line of scrimmage here. He's afraid of these ghouls. Ghouls with an MA of 7. 2-die block on that left end. Gets a push. Pushes the left tight end to continue to be marked by Hercha, the number 16 blitzer. Five seconds on the clock for Nevva. Back into bonus time. They've chewed through about 2 minutes now. They have 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. Turn 10, back to the Dead Poets. After electing not to re-roll this both down result, they had a turnover, and now they're going to try again to pick this ball up and find a way to score. They don't want to score too early, or else they risk a 1-1 draw. And again, even though the Dead Poets have been eliminated from the Chaos Cup, a win is, they still want to win. They still want to gain SPP. They still want to gain standing. They still want to level the, if SBeaver is going to continue to field this team for the rest of the season, they want to continue to skill up these players and kit it out the way that he wants this team to be kitted out. In the game of Blood Bowl, there's 4 ways to score SPP. You can pass the ball for 1 SPP. The thrower on a successful pass will gain 1 SPP. You can get 2 SPP for inflicting a casualty on an opponent. You can get 3 SPP for a touchdown, and you can get 4 SPP for being declared the MVP of the game. Good pickup by Joplin, the number 7 Ghoul runner. Has the ball on the 18-yard line, his own 18-yard line in the left wide zone now. There's 2 Ghouls sticking together. Ghouls with block and dodge. Joplin with sure hands. Hendricks with sidestep. Takes a one-time block in the left wide zone and doesn't re-roll this either. And that's another turnover. Turn 10 back to Nevva. 2-die block on the right side. Gets a pal on Cobain. Looking for a 9+. Be a great removal. Doesn't get it. 2-die block on the number 14. Zombo gets a push here. If Nevva wins this game, then they're going to lock in a top 2 spot for the semifinals. Otherwise, they could potentially drop all the way down to 4th place. If they drop into 4th place, they will have to face off against, I want to be like Doug, the Dwarven team that's 5-0-0 currently. Clevy says, is there some sort of trick play he's trying here to do something? Not re-rolling constantly doesn't seem like SBeaver at all. Yeah, I don't know. Even that says this is looking bad for the undead. Yeah, I agree. Gets a knockdown on the blitz. Nevva continuing to duke it out at the line. Not going after this ball. Going for the foul here. A ton of assists. Got a KO. Really well done. Got called off the pitch, but that's a great trade. That's the second way he could have dealt with these mummies that we talked about in the pregame. Excellent work by Chime. Whoa! Whoa, and he succeeded at arguing the call! Wow! Wow, so in this version of the rules, you can argue the call, and on a 6, it's still a turnover any way you slice it, but on a 6, you stay on the pitch. And he argued the call successfully. He said, look, he's a mummy. He can't be on the pitch. And the ref's like, hey, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Great foul here by Nevva to remove that other mummy and successfully argue the call. Both mummies off the pitch now. This is a big, big loss for the Dead Poets. They don't have that really strong duo to control pitch, and now they're going to have a real hard time keeping a cohesive pocket for the ball carrier. Turn 10 for the Dead Poets. Wow, so arguing the call is new to the game, since the LRB 6, that is. It's in Blood Bowl 2020. Fails the rush here by the Dead Poets. This time they decided to use the reroll. This time they decided to use the reroll. Oh, they failed. Of all the things to fail, they failed the rush. Wow! Spent the reroll, failed the rush, rolled a 1 and a 1 again, rolled snake eyes. So in this version of the rules, you can argue the call when you get called off for a foul. If you roll a 2 through 5, you get called off just the same as you always would have before. On a 6, you stay on the pitch, it's still a turnover. It's always a turnover. But on a 6, you'll stay on the pitch. On a 1, not only do you get called off the pitch, but the referee is so annoyed with you, you'll get a -1 to brilliant coaching for the game. See that block on Johnson, gets a foul here. Like I said, I think if I was him, I would just try to score ASAP and hope to get the mummies back in the next drive. I agree. At this point, he's lost both his money below players. He's not going to be able, he can't keep up the bashing game. We talked about that in the pregame. He, you know, Undead, I would consider a bashy team, but in this matchup, he's not the bashy team. And if he stays marked, if he stays based, he's going to lose players, and that's what's been happening all night long. At this point, he's got to think like an elf and say, there's safety in restarting the drive. I can get back my KO'd players. I can reset and try to keep my players alive. Double skulls on the blitz here. He'll re-roll it into a POW on Alexander. Rushes the blitzer twice toward the ball carrier. Now, with that mummy gone, he said, you know what? It's time. I'm coming after you, Joplin. Two-die block on the right side of the pitch. Gets a knockdown. Turn 12. Back to the Dead Poets. They have their ball. They have the ball on their own 18-yard line in the left wide zone, but they've got no protection on the ball carrier. I'm not sure what he plans to do here, except maybe punt. Maybe if he dodges out Hendricks and that works out, and then he gets lucky on another dodge, he can keep this ball safe. I'm not sure. Maybe with a half cage. Oh, I don't know. Stands up Hendricks. Is he going to dodge? He's not going to dodge Hendricks. Going for the blitz instead. 2-die blitz. Gets a pal here. On the double rush 2-die blitz. He won't follow up. Good knockdown. 11v7 on the pitch currently. (11v8), excuse me. Dead Poets stand up Alexander. He's marking runaround. Fails the 3+ dodge with Cobain. Is he going to re-roll this? He is! And fails the dodge regardless. And now that's a big stun for Nevva. Cobain is stunned. He'll be out for a turn. He'll be out for a turn and a half, really. He's going to be out on the next turn. And then the turn following that, he's going to be down 3 SP or 3 MA. Because he needs 3 MA to stand up. Two-die block. This works out thanks to the block skill on Desertia. Moves Rick Rolla Astley toward the left sideline. That's where the ball is currently. Two-die block on Hendricks. Sidestep push here. The Dead Poets really don't have to be afraid of being on the sideline unless the other two spaces get filled in, because they can always sidestep away. Blitz still in play. He was looking to get a knockdown there. Moves run around the big end blocker, number 4, back into the safety position over on the left side. And now two-die block on Thane, gets a pal here. Here comes the blitz. 1-die blitz on the ball carrier. Gets a push. Is he going to re-roll it? He does re-roll this. It's going to be a both standing result. Decided to re-roll this blitz. Nevva down to 1 re-roll for the game. And now takes a 2-die block on Johnson. Got the mark with the Goblin. Remember, in the pregame, we talked about that Goblin doing 3 things. That Goblin is that good. KO. That Goblin's there to do 3 things. He's there to assist blocks, he's there to foul, and he's there to be thrown by the Troll. We've seen him assist. We've seen him foul. Will we see him be thrown? Fourth quarter begins for the Dead Poets. Their final quarter of this competition. Dead Poets looking to pick up their 2nd win this season. One-die block on Hurt, he has a push. .50 dodge blitz by the ball carrier into a skull. He re-rolls this into a knockdown. Wow. Dead Poet's down to 1 reroll. And now he moves the ball down pitch. He's going to rely on Joplin being a blodger to keep the ball carrier safe. She's on the 12-yard line now, the opposing 12-yard line in the left wide zone, just off the sideline. These uphill blocks, get out of town. Goodness gracious, double pow on the 2-die uphill. Wow. Wow. Praise Nuffle. Praise Nuffle on a 2-die uphill. Ninja Glappy, welcome to the stream. Yeah, go Bleeper, get that wee wing, curb block him. You know what? That doesn't sound out of the realm of possibility of somebody in the crowd cheering for an Orc team. 2-die block gets a pal here on number 15. Nevva Ghana with 1 reroll left for the game. They're currently in second place. They're guaranteed to make the top 4, but they want to seed themselves as high as possible, or maybe they don't. Chime might have a target in mind for the top 4. I can't imagine it's the undefeated team, so he doesn't want to end up in 4th place. Here comes the blitz on the ball carrier. 2-die blitz. This is a dodge push. They'll push Joplin probably back here or here. He's thinking about it. He doesn't know which position he wants this player to be in. Dead Poet's deciding whether to use the block skill or not. They're going to end up using it to stay on their feet. Doesn't follow up with the blitzer. Still has 1 point of movement left with the blitzer. Decides, you know what? I'll follow up after all. And making dodging as hard as possible for this ball carrier. Nevva Ghana trying to stop the score, but do they have a plan to win? Cenozoic Park and the White Skull Windbreakers in 3rd and 4th place respectively. They're not playing each other, which means they can both place ahead of Nevva Ghana. That will drop Nevva Ghana down to 4th place, and then they'll have to take on, I want to be like Doug, the 5-0 Dwarfen team. 2-die block back in no man's land. This works out due to the block skill. Breaks armor. Got a KO. Another removal. Well done. Well done. Nevva Ghana is, let's call it their 25th removal of the game. Bashing this team into the ground. Turn 14, 3 turns left in this game. The Dead Poets with the ball on the opposing 10-yard line. But my goodness, they've got 4 dodges to get out of this defensive setup here. And the first one's a -3. A -3 to a -2 to a -1 to a positive dodge. 2-die uphill block. 2-die uphill blitz, rather. Re-rolls this. Is he 3 for 3 on uphill blocks now? Follows up, got the knockdown. The play continues. What is happening? Oh, Nuffle has a sense of humor. That's what's happening. Wow. Went for the gold. Got through all the hard rerolls. But as Nuffle wills it, can't get through the rushes. A 2+ on the rush fails. And Joplin is removed from the pitch. Good effort by S. Beaver. Succeeds on his 3rd uphill block. 2 good dodges, 1 good rush. Fails the final rush. And that's a KO. Sector's Loops, the saddest thing I've seen this week. Ball got thrown back in. It's still in the Dead Poets half of the pitch. It's on the opposing, let's see, 12, 14, 16, 18-yard line. Two-die block back over in the left wide zone. It's going to be a dodge push on Hendricks, the ghoul runner. He has sidestep. Looks like the Dead Poets are deciding whether to use dodge or not. Decides to use dodge, sidesteps onto the sideline. Has to be careful here because he could get surfed if Nevva really wants to commit a lot of players to it. He probably doesn't want to, though. Two-die block. Gets a stun on Alexander. Oh, he might be doing it. He might be trying to do it. This means he's got to fill in the gap here. He is going to try for this surf. Got the pal. That's a removal. So he dedicated a bunch of players to this surf. Got an injury out of it. Look at that casualty box. Nevva, they can score and win this game, but they've got to hustle to do it. They're taking their blocks, though, picking up lots of SVP on these Kazes. Moves the troll down pitch to get the assist on Cobain. Two-die block on Cobain now, gets a push. Nevva just spends the turn taking blocks. That means they're going to have 2 turns to score. They're going to have to hustle if they want to win this one. Dedicated a lot of players to this surf. Had to do it because of the sidestep skill. If there was any open gap there, the player would have sidestepped to safety, potential safety. Player says, is there a way S. Beaver can get the ball back at this point? Not likely. No. The Dead Poets with just 3 players left on the pitch. Four players left on the pitch. It is 11v4. So a whopping 7-man player advantage for Nevva. Signals loses. Maybe Chime falls asleep. Maybe somebody's computer dies. Who knows? Penultimate turn, Nevva, turn 15. They can't afford to miss the pickup here. They've got to end in scoring position. They keep pulling players back, but they have to move forward. Make You Cry is going to be the potential scoring threat. Make You Cry, a blitzer. The Orc lineman has animosity towards the other Orc lineman, but not the blitzer. Might try a handoff to a throw. We'll see. Takes the block. Oh, this is so scary because if he eats up that final reroll, that's going to make scoring all that much more difficult. But maybe Chime's not worried about seeding. Maybe he says, you know what? I've made top 4. I'm just looking for SPP. That could be a strategy as well. There's the ball pickup. 3+ pickup here. Fails the pickup. I think he's got to re-roll this. He does. Oh, failed the rush. Oh, no. He was going to hand off to tell a lie, but failed the rush. In the game of Blood Bowl, you can move your maximum distance. That's your movement allowance. In this case here, it's a 5 for Gotta Make You Understand. You can move up to 2 additional spaces. That's all these exclamation marks here. That's called rushing. For each additional space you move, you roll a d6. So long as you didn't roll a 1, you're solid. But if you roll a 1, you fall prone and have to make an armor roll. Fail the rush there. Used to be called a go for it or a GFI. Turn 16, final turn of this game. 0-0 is the score. Dead Poets with no rerolls left. Nevva Gonna with no rerolls left either. One die block on dessert. Yeah, gets a push here. Segnor's Loop asks, what's the movement on the white? Whites are 6. Whites are MA 6. Tried to pick the ball up, fails the pickup with Cobain. 3+ pickup. Turn 16. This is it. Nevva Gonna can guarantee a top 2 spot for the semifinal if they can score here. But now, the ball marked by Cobain, the number 5 blitzer. Is he going to try to blitz that ball carrier? Oh, I'm sorry, blitz the blitzer. He is going to blitz the blitzer. Gets a pal here. Got to make you understand, cannot pick this ball up now. He could, but that would be a very bad idea. Probably going to go with Telelai. But if he goes with Telelai, Telelai doesn't want to get this ball to make you cry. So he'll probably hand off. Oh boy, this is so tricky. If Telelai picks this ball up, he has animosity. Going for the handoff. Didn't get through the animosity roll. Yes, that was the problem. So he has animosity. He doesn't like his teammates. He failed the animosity roll. That means he refuses to hand off. He's going to hold on to this ball, and this is going to end up as a 0-0 ball game. Oh, what a way to end it. Oh, man. Nothing to do now but pick up some SPP. Boy, oh boy. Segnor's Loop says, you know, those what's best for the team works. Not the worst result in the world. Again, Nevva Gonna has already secured their spot in the top 4 for the Chaos Cup this year. This season, I should say. Although our seasons tend to be a year. Two-die block on Alexander. Gonna get a pal here. He's looking for SPP. 9+ to break armor. Doesn't get it. Now gonna foul here with 4 assists on the foul. Gets a stun. And that's gonna be the game. 0-0 to score. Well played by both coaches. Man, that was a roller coaster ride. Oh my goodness. And this one ends in a draw. Run around the MVP tonight. He's going to pick up his first level up with that 6 SPP, and Hendrix, the Ghoul Runner, is the MVP for the Dead Poets. Will pick up, goodness, he's got 6 SPP. He's not going to pick up another skill, but he's close. You have to be careful with a team like Undead, because your ghouls, because they're the touchdown magnets, they tend to soak up a lot of the SPP, and you really want to spread that SPP around a bit, get some SPP on those other players so you can pick up those block skills you so desperately need. 62 blocks by Nevva Gonna. Look at this. The Dead Poets sustained 17 injuries, 6 KOs, 3 Kazes. We talked about it in the pregame, and this matchup against Undead. Undead cannot be the batchy team. They cannot go in and take those marks. They're just gonna get beat up. They're gonna get beat up. SPP for the evening. 6 for the Dead Poets, 10 for Nevva Gonna. Whew. And Nevva Gonna is going to end regular play here in week 6. 4-1-1. They're currently in 2nd place. They could drop down to 4th, but either way, they will be advancing to the semifinals. Good play by Chime. Again, He beat Cenozoic Park in week 1 and stayed at the top of the standings all competition long, and now is going to make the top 4. Clivey says, how can they drop down? Well, the White Skull Windbreakers in Cenozoic Park, they can't drop down because he got a draw. You're right. He can't, he didn't. You're absolutely right. So that's second place. Well done to Chime. So he's going to secure second place. He will not have to face Richard Cranium's I Want to Be Like Doug. He's going to face off against the third place team. And that's going to be either Cenozoic Park or the White Skull Windbreakers. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Oh, wait, we got a schedule, don't we? We've got a schedule, don't we? Coming up next, we have a doubleheader tomorrow night. That'll be Sunday, February 18th, starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's UTC -5. That's going to be the White Skull Windbreakers versus the Juxtaposed Juggernauts. Doug the Minotaur versus War Horseman. Doug the Minotaur looking to see where he's going to seed in the top 4 as well. Doug the Minotaur, the current league champion. White Skull Windbreakers, another Orc team versus War Horseman's Chaos Renegades. And then at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow night, we have Stairway to Nuffle versus Real American Heroes, El Nubarino versus Dead Fred. That's Underworld Denizens versus Dark Elves. Then on Monday, February 19th at 8 o'clock p.m., we have I Want to Be Like Doug versus Maximum Von Cedo, Richard Cranium versus Malik. That's Dwarves versus Lizards. And then there's one more game yet to be scheduled. And of course, when that game gets scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to the schedules on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB, here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. Play Blood Bowl, man. Where else can you can you be a big work team and then beat up on your opponents, kill them, and then they resurrect and then come back onto the pitch the next drive? This game's so rad. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. Until Sunday, February 18th, that's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And congratulations to Chime for securing his second place spot.